So, final question for you, and not to go too heavy on it, but the future for members, and also for our current retirees, but for the future, what do you think is the reason for public service? Why would you go into public service? As you've been in public service, but what's the reason you go into public service?
Well, I'm in public service because I'm a motorcycle mechanic and I like fixing things. And there's a lot to be fixed in local and state government. And, this term is going to mean some certain things to certain of your members and maybe not mean anything to others. Working for local and state government is not this term used to be not your dad's Oldsmobile anymore. There are wonderful, incredible opportunities to work for local government, either at city level or county level in rural North Carolina, and some fantastic communities that actually pay a lot better than what people would expect. And, my theory on life is that if you have somebody to love, something to do, and something to look forward to, you're complete. And there is so much to do and so much to look forward to by somebody looking at an opportunity to work for local government. I just moved to 250 finance students over at North Carolina State, the Poole School of Business, and where we talked about public service. So it's a real opportunity. I will tell you and tell your viewers that with everything that's dividing our society right now, which is political party and gender and race, none of that exists at the Treasurer's office. We do focus on one color here, and that's the color green. GREEN. And the blood that runs through me is Quaker, and one of the spices of the Quaker religion is to be fair and just. And what that means is that we don't pick and choose which laws to apply or who to apply them to. Everybody gets processed fairly and justly and equally. The only two people, and I will admit this, that ever get to jump in line are people who are in hospice or those that are killed in the line of duty. And sometimes we have a little time with the hospice situations, but there's sometimes people think they have their affairs in order, but they really don't. Mm-hmm. And trying to deal with this after the fact is a non-starter because we're sort of stuck with the words on paper.
Right.
So it's not on your list of things to ask me about, but it's just a reminder as we're approaching the fall season that all of your participants and all of your members, if they're going to check their fire alarm once or twice a year, they need to check their beneficiary once a year.
That's great.
We have some tragic situations of somebody who put down their friend as their beneficiary and never changed it. Since then, they've gotten married, they've had a family, and then something happened to them unexpectedly.
We recently did a program at the NCRGEA on that topic of making sure you're documenting your wishes and where everything is. So it's called The Letter. So if you haven't seen it, it's a good program. We're doing that as well, but I agree very much with you on that point. I just want to thank you for your time today, and especially the message about public service and for our retirees of public service. I think in this day and age, hearing that the service they provided meant something and that young people considering it, it's a wonderful career to consider. I think it's a good message that we all need to be sharing. So I appreciate you putting that out and letting us know a little bit more about our pension and health plans.